danced around the marriage talk. Like, he's already said, what's mine is yours.
I definitely don't have a ring in my pocket.
It looks like Corona is gonna have a hard awakening this time because she's going to realize that Ingi does not want to marry her just yet. And not only that, but oh my god, one of the goodbyes on this episode was so emotional. I was tearing up. As always, before we keep going, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's cover this episode. So Corona is packing her stuff because she's getting ready to move to Iceland.
Saying this out loud really just made me realize how real all this is.
Did you just realize that this is real? Not when you quit your job, not when you let go of your spot at the university, not when you book your ticket. Like, this is when you're realizing. This is when you're realizing that this is real.
Stop it. Get some help.
That is like one thing that I worry, that I won't be able to make like a diverse friend group in Iceland.
And then her friends start asking her, you know, like, has Ingi ever met a black person? Has Ingi ever dated a black person? He hasn't even dated anyone in the past. Have Ingi's parents met a black person in the past before?
No.
But Corona doesn't care. I mean, she doesn't really care about any of the bad decisions that she has made throughout these episodes. So yeah, what can I say?
The ground underneath me is not as solid as it once was, and I'm falling through the clouds now.
You couldn't have used a more perfect analogy for what you're doing, because yes, you are falling through the clouds. I know you're saying it like in a good way, you know, like, I'm so in love, I'm falling through the clouds. But no, girl, you're falling through the clouds because of the bad decisions that you are making. You're falling through the clouds and you're gonna land in reality land very soon. Just see Corona, you're worried about diversity. He's dancing on top of a rainbow tree. You have nothing to worry about. Inky is walking around the streets of Iceland, and why is his name pronounced Inky? His name is Ingi. There is no K in it. There is no Q in it. Grammatically, it does not make sense. It's already hard enough for me to sometimes say certain words, and now you're making me add a K to. Inky says that dating in Iceland is like Russian roulette because you don't know if you're gonna be related to the person or not. Like, everyone's cousins with each other, and that there's actually an app that shows you if you're related to this person or not.
The question is always like, are you gonna look beforehand or afterwards?
What do you mean afterwards? Do people really click afterwards? Like, disgusting! I need you guys to out yourself out there. I need you to out yourself and tell us if you're clicking afterwards, because that's gross, okay? That, no. Like, you guys need to get rid of that option.
I've never really, like, you know, met someone that ticked all the boxes for me until I met Corona.
He didn't even realize that she was hitting on him, but eventually he just really liked her and he just really wanted to be with her. To him, she's outgoing, she's super expressive, she loves herself, she's confident. However, he is a little worried about living with her because this is the first time that, you know, his first girlfriend, his first partner living together. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. Ingi goes to meet his friends and they're playing, I'm pretty sure it's Dungeons and Dragons. He starts telling us that his friends are very important to him, especially because they have known each other since they were in kindergarten. And they've just been together since then. So it's very important that Corona gets to meet his friends. His friends ask him if he's excited about Corona coming over and, you know, being here with him. And he's like, yeah, I am extremely excited about the situation. One of his friends asked him if he's nervous about Corona living with him and things changing. And he's like, no, things are not going to change. Things are going to be the same. He's like, and his friend right away tells him, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. And I totally agree. To think that not much is going to change once you start living with someone is a little ridiculous. But it also goes to show that he hasn't really been in a relationship like that. So So that's why he's so sure about the situation.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that he's been like really serious with.
And everyone here is under the impression that they're just moving in while Corona's over there thinking they're gonna get married. And then when they ask him, are you gonna get down on your knees and propose to her? He tells them that no, he's not gonna do that because they're just dating. They're progressing extremely quickly.
I definitely don't have a ring in my pocket.
Just wait until everyone finds out that Corona actually thinks he's gonna propose to her soon. Watch out, everyone, because Statler's driving, and if you get in front of her, she's gonna
You idiot. That's why your car's all up, because you have bad karma.
flip you off. As she's driving, she tells us that she's going to a used car dealership because she's trying to sell her car since she's not going to be able to use it. And then she tells us that she took out a $20,000 loan to pay for her part of the camper.
I'm definitely feeling a lot more stressed out than she is, financially speaking.
And that Dempsey had to quit her job. Yep, because her job is not remote. It doesn't allow her to, you know, work and be on the road. So Statler is going to be the one that has to financially take care of both of them. So she arrives at the dealership and she starts telling the salesman, you know, like, I'm going to sell my car. I'm traveling across the world. Like, I'm going to dump my life and move in a van with another person. And he's definitely looking at her like, this is a bad decision. What are you doing? Now, he goes inside to write up the offer. And while he's inside, Statler starts saying goodbye to her car. And it's just like breaking up with her. Like, this is not you, it's me.
This is awkward. It literally is not you. It's me.
Then the salesman comes out and he tells her, you know, it's going to be $18,000. And she's happy about it because she didn't expect that it was going to be that much money. But at the same time, now she's thinking, she's like, should I just wait to sell it?
I'm kind of more of a cautious person. I like to have a backup plan, which is why I might want to keep it so I can have money later on if things don't work out.
Now I don't have an apartment and I got a $20,000 loan. How am I supposed to deal with it? She also talks about how like Dempsey is very quick to just drop her entire life and just make rush decisions, and she's not like that. And this has been something that she shares over and over again.
And I am not. So it's like she's staying true to herself. Should I stay true to myself?
I really wonder why she has decided to continue to be in this relationship when it makes her so uncomfortable. And the problem with this is that there's gonna come a point where Statler is going to start resenting Dempsey for all the decisions that they're making, even if they're making it together, because she's gonna be thinking like, I did this for her. I changed my life for her. I did all of this stuff for her. So Statler is packing. She's getting ready. You know, she's gonna leave soon.
Dempsey texted me just now and said,
Telling her that unfortunately they are short and they cannot afford the van. And she's like, oh shit, I'm leaving tomorrow. The last thing I want is to be homeless once I get there. She also expresses that when her and Dempsey were living in the caravan mobile home, she already had a difficult time living there.
There's like less space than I'm realizing. I want to take a shower, but I can't just like hop into the shower. It doesn't have hot water.
And now you're moving into a van way more smaller than a freaking mobile home. Like, are you listening? Are you listening to yourself? Dempsey calls her and they're having this video chat. And it turns out that Dempsey was under the impression that Statler was going to sell her car and then use that money to pay for anything else that was needed.
I never told her I was gonna get rid of my car.
Statler was under the impression and that the $20,000 of the loan were going to be enough to pay for the van.
I think the miscommunication came about because when she was talking pounds, I was thinking dollars.
I guess both of them didn't understand what the other person was talking about. Dempsey was thinking that on top of the loan, they were going to have the money from the car. And Statler was thinking that the money from the loan was going to be enough.
Your car was going to pay for the rest. Like we spoke about that time and time again. Like you can't just say, oh, I forgot.
And now they have to figure out how they're going to do it because they are 5,000 pounds short. They do not have the money for it.
I am.
Now moving on to Shikina and Sarper. Sarper has been obsessing over counting the days for Shikina to arrive.
It looks trash and the bottles are still on the shelves. I'm
not clean, not organized. Seriously, like you still have your goddamn bottle collection, which is disgusting on its own.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Then at the same time, Shikina is complaining about all the things that she asked him to do and he didn't do, like clear out the room for her. He didn't do. Get her a closet. He didn't do. And then Sarper's like, are you doing this because of the bottle collection? And Shikina's like,
I don't know, I just feel like I came back and nothing's changed. It's the same.
And weren't you telling us last episode that you knew damn well the bottles were still there, that the notebook was still there? You told him that if he didn't get rid of those things, you were gonna leave him. And you still didn't.
I said, I'm not coming back until you get rid of them.
But you're going back.
Again, you're showing him that your words don't matter. So he doesn't need to do the things that you asked him to do because it's not important to him. He knows at the end of the day, you're still gonna come back.
Are you crying for this?
I'm just tired of this.
I didn't see no tears. She also tells him, I better not see that notebook around. So he sits down right next to her and he's like, is all of this really because of the bottles?
How would you feel if I had a whole case full of things that remind me of other guys and I don't want to get rid of them?
He does not understand that this is not about the bottles. It is about the woman. It is about the history. It's about what they symbolize. Those bottles are tied to the woman that you have slept with in the past. They're not just any bottles.
It reminds me the places that I visited, not the girl.
He's trying to gaslight her into believing that he never said that, but then on his confessional, he admits that when he told her this story,
I had to stop there, but I said that I never drink by myself.
So now he's trying to rewrite history to make her believe that it wasn't like that. Idiot.
Going great.
Do you want me to show the book to you?
After he says that, he's like, you know what? I have an idea. Why don't you make peace with my notebook? Let me go get it right now. Let me go get the notebook right now and you can make peace with it. So then Shikina opens her suitcase.
It's not a big deal.
Make peace with it?
Yes.
You make peace with this.
Her face the entire time, and Sarper too. Like he was about to hyperventilate because of how upset he looked.
Why did you brought it here?
Why not? It's just a book.
But I mean, this is fair, right? You have a book. She can have a book too. You have a bottle collection. She can have this letter. It's not that big of a deal, right? Make peace with it. But a lot of you guys do think that this letter was written by her at the end of the day, and it wasn't written by a 15-year-old. And I have to agree with you guys, because who was writing an 147-page love letter to someone when we were 15? Like, please. Even my hubby was like, I think she got the letter and then printed it multiple times and then just put it all together. I was like, yep.
I actually didn't even know when I was going to bring this letter out or even if I really would.
I don't believe you. You knew you were going to pull this letter out. You knew damn well you were going to show it to him.
I don't want to talk anymore.
And now that the tables have turned, Sarper is not as happy anymore. Then the moment that Shikina gets out of the room, Sarper goes back inside the room. He opens up the letter. He doesn't even read it. I wouldn't read it either. No, actually I would. I would read that letter. I would sit there and read the letter. It would take me a couple days to read it, but I would still read it.
You are so good at up things.
You're the one that fucked things up. You're the one with the stupid notebook. You're the one with the stupid bottles. So you're the one to blame for this situation. Now let's move on to Josh and Lily. Josh is getting ready to leave and he starts telling us that he's definitely sad because it's gonna be different over there. He's not gonna have the usual things that he has here, like his remote cars or his video games or his little Lego sets, but he's still happy.
Little overweight 7-year-old boy bouncing at the table as he sees that big chocolate cake coming towards him. That's how excited I am.
Now he's being taken to the airport with his parents, and his parents are like, you know, it's starting to seem super real. It just is hitting us. And Josh is like,
but I'll be back, just living a little bit further away.
A little? You mean like super far away? Because that's like the other side of the world. It's like, how many miles? Let's look up US to China. How many miles? So from the United States to China, 6,993 miles, and for everyone else that is 11,671 kilometers.
But I do. I
You'll
love
be good.
you with all my heart. I love you so much. Love you.
When someone hugs you that hard.
This is definitely one of the craziest things that I have done.
At least Josh recognizes every single time that the decisions that he is making are a little bit crazy, and he's always like, you know, I get it, like I get it, but I'm happy to be with my wife. Like,
This is my third marriage, and I want to make sure I do this right.
why were you married twice? Like, I know divorce is normal, and I understand that, you know, sometimes things just don't work out, but at the same time, like, was it your fault? Why did it ended?
That's where I will live and fly into Shanghai.
His flight got canceled due to weather conditions. So yeah, he's almost there. He's gonna see Lily. And from there, he has to drive 3 hours to the city that he's going to be living at.
有点点累，但是我觉得还可以，准备的不是很好，但是我也是有努力啦，这样子。
Oh my god, she did an amazing job with this home, but it's so white. The things that they don't have kids or pets because the house will be a terrible mess.
Lily was actually looking forward to picking me up, but I wanted to show her I can do this myself.
He also picks up a bouquet of flowers. That bouquet of flowers was magnificent, beautiful. Then he shares that he's not as stressed as he would usually be because now he sees all the signs in English just as well as Chinese. So he's not concerned about it. We go back with Lily and she tells us that she spent a lot of money. She's extremely happy to see how the house turned out. And in total, she spent $562,000. And she does not like telling Josh about the money because he's extremely concerned about the situation. You know, he doesn't have a job, and every time that the money comes up, he just doesn't feel good about himself.
当然，我也希望我的家是他能帮助我呀。
But she doesn't bring it up to him because every time she does, he tells her, well, why don't you go find someone rich? So she really hopes that Josh realizes.
我就是希望他能知道我做这一切都是为了他。
I don't necessarily think that all of this is being done for him because this is a house that I'm pretty sure you had already purchased before you met Josh. Also, Josh has expressed that he didn't want to do the renovation. He didn't want to have to live in the villa. He would have been happy with a 2-bedroom apartment, but she decided to do those things. I could see something brewing, you know, a problem, a big issue in this situation.
Is it common for men in China not to work while the wife provides the income?
And I'm just like, Josh, in almost every country, it is extremely common for men to work and be the provider, not for women to work and be the provider. Of course, the driver's like, you're funny, your woman provides for you. And then he asks him, what advice do you have for a foreigner living in China? And this is what the driver has to say.
Find a job and don't rely on my wife.
He's not holding back. He's not holding back. And for the preview, it looks like Josh and Lily are gonna have a little disagreement or argument about the traditional wedding because it looks like Lily is trying to pin it on Josh that he's the one that wanted the wedding. And Josh is like, no, you're the one that wanted the traditional wedding. So we'll see how that plays out.
You said you wanted special wedding.
If you say so.
And also, it looks like Josh just kind of agrees with everything that Lily says. And I was also wondering, he sold his home, right? Like, I know he doesn't have any money right now, but he sold his home. Wouldn't that mean that he has money to bring to China? And if he doesn't have that money, does that mean that he's paying for alimony for the 2 marriages that he has under his belt? Because he does not have kids, so where did that money go? It looks like Tata not only lied to their family here in the States, but they actually lied to her family in Indonesia because she's barely telling them that they're moving over there to stay there. And the questions, have you guys ever received a bouquet as beautiful as the one that Josh is about to give Lily? Will you guys move into a van knowing already that you are not capable of doing a mobile home because it's so small? Let me know. What do you guys think is gonna happen when Corona arrives and then Inky realizes that Corona is under the impression that they're getting married? I would love to know what you guys think. If you guys are looking for ways to support the channel, you can also join my members. I had to move my gypsy video into my members only because unfortunately it got demonetized. It performed pretty well and unfortunately I can't take it down and re-upload it, so you can also watch it there. You do not have to join. And I would personally like to thank Haiti Angel and Happy One for being my members, and all of you guys for watching my content, liking it, sharing it, commenting, all the good stuff.